Welcome to Wholesale Hardknocks. This podcast was created by me and Daryll squatting up together and doing badass shit. And we want y'all to do the same. So most importantly, squat up in the comments and do deals together. And then like the video, subscribe to the channels. Yo, Daryll, take them away, big dog.
It's about community building. Join the community, reach out, squat up, join the campfire, baby.
Let's go.
My favorite time of the week, baby. Let's go.
Damn. That was hard, bro. Welcome back to Wholesale Hardknocks. Yo, it's the best wholesaling podcast on YouTube right now, bro. We gotta get on some other platforms for sure. But yo, welcome back to two favorite hosts. It's your boy Daryll and my boy Mike Gomes, the Mike Gomes, coming back with episode 38 of Wholesale Hardknocks. We have another hot seat. Me and Mike, we got together, we were talking, we said, we need to get back to our roots and like where we started. We started off doing hot seats, right? We had newer investors come up and talk about their business, tell us where they were at, what they need help with. And we're not where we want to be yet, but we're steps ahead of heads of other people, right? And we reach back and we give advice. Now you can either take that advice or not. It's up to you. The one and only time we did this, somebody took our advice, and his life has changed since then for the better. So we got my boy. Well, Mike, what else we got for today? Am I missing anything before we?
Nah, that's it, bro. We started Wholesale Hardknocks. This was the goal, right? When we first started, we were like, hey, let's help out as many new investors as possible and give them the blueprint to make their dream happen, right? And we started it. I think we had a couple episodes in the beginning with new investors coming on. We broke down their business. We gave them advice. Their lives changed. And then all of a sudden we had guests come on, and people were asking us like, hey, can you go over like sales and all this stuff, right? So we ended up kind of switching gears. But me and Daryll were like, yo, we got to figure out something like set in stone, like the best schedule for Wholesale Hardknocks for 2023. And we're calling this the Newbie HotSeat. So what a hot seat is put it this way. Imagine if you were you were at a mastermind, right? And you guys chopped it up for like 2 days straight. And the last day was a hot seat, meaning out of the first 2 days, you take what you learned on the first 2 days and you go in a hot seat on the third day. And you come up with like what you're trying to accomplish in your business. And then whoever's the host of the mastermind or the crowd or whatever gives you advice on how to make that dream happen. So yeah, that's what Wholesale Hardknocks was built off of. And now we're trying to get back to the roots. It's just going to be part of every single month. We have a couple different types of episodes. Last week, we did one where we broke down our goals, right? So it's always going to be a specific topic every week. And then some of the episodes are going to be these newbie type of hot seats. So I'm so excited. I got this hot seat idea from a mastermind that I went to. A lot of masterminds that I've went to have hot seats, right? Where you sit down and, the person hosting the mastermind breaks down exactly what you should do in order to go accomplish your goals. But not only do I get value from it, but when the crowd is listening and the crowd is asking questions, those questions start popping up. So it's very similar to here on Wholesale Hardknocks. As you guys are watching, in the comments, ask questions. Like we're going to do a Q&A at the end. Any questions that you guys have, we're going to answer. So you can learn a lot from somebody's hot seat. I actually probably learned more stuff from other people's hot seats at masterminds than I have my own hot seat, because all of a sudden things start going off in my head like, oh yeah, I didn't even think of that, right? And now questions are answered that you didn't even know that you had a question for. So let's freaking get this thing started.
Let's go, man. So yo, we were wondering, who can our first guest be, right? And we talked about we only want to bring hustlers up here, go getters, right? Somebody who's actually going to take the value that we give back and implement it, right? Because I know we're not going to give no bullshit, right? We're going to give some sauce. We're going to give some fire, some action steps, action items. Shoot, We even put each other in the hot seat. And with the advice that we give each other, we implement in our businesses and we have success, right? So it's only right.
Literally before we hopped on this call, we were just on like a 20-minute call.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Just
So
pretty much giving each other a hot seat.
it's the campfire, right? It's important
campfire.
to get into to have these conversations if you're not already, because like we said, somebody is one step ahead of you always, right? And if you don't have somebody to reach out to and say, hey, what am I doing wrong? You're going to go, it's not impossible, right? You can figure it out yourself. By all means, you can figure it out by yourself, but it may take you a little longer. You know, smart people learn from other people's mistakes. So
100%. That's so good.
Yep.
One last thing I want to add is we're going to be doing these hot seats every single month. And we're probably going to do maybe 1 or 2 episodes a month with these hot seats. And if you want your business to be put on a hot seat and you want us to pull back the curtains and figure out exactly what we got to do to get you up to speed to start crushing it in your wholesale business or your fix and flip business or whatever, we're going to have an opportunity for you to get on a hot seat as well. So the hot seat is dope. You want to be on the hot seat. Put it that way. You want to get better. But without further ado, let's bring our guy, Evan, on. Evan. Oh, there we go. Evan, what up, bro?
What's good?
AKA
Wavy.
Real Estate Wavy.
Yes, sir.
Wavy.
How y'all doing?
Real Estate Wavy, baby.
Let's get it, man.
What up, brother?
Who is Real Estate Wavy?
Who is Real Estate Wavy?
Who is that, bro? Who is that?
Well, a little bit about me. I started real estate about 2 years ago. I'm 22 years old. Been in real estate
bro.
for
Hold on. 22?
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, so I'm 22 years old. I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida. So about 2 years ago, I got into real estate from my friend. His name was Chris. And Chris, he wanted to do some auctions, some auction bidding on houses. Now, at that time, I didn't have any money. I didn't have a penny in my bank account. But he wanted to do these auctions, but we never did it. And so a couple weeks later, he calls me up. He's like so excited about telling me this new thing he learned about from Jerry Norton called real estate wholesaling. I was like, oh shoot, this sounds dope. I'm about to get into this. So we got into real estate 2 years ago. And at that time, I didn't know anything about real estate. And I started my first book that I ever took serious, that I ever read, was Rich Dad Poor Dad. And when I read that, I was just like, oh yeah, okay. This is the move right here. Assets and liabilities. I know what that is. In real estate, that's going to get me to where I need to be.
Yeah, why is that everybody's first book?
I don't know, bro. Like, was that your first book?
It was the first book.
Crazy, bro. It's like the chosen one.
You want to hear a funny thing? I've never read that book.
And that's you have it's crazy because you have like majority of people who that's the very first book that they read, and then the rest have never read it at all. Nobody has ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad like the third or second book ever. Right?
It's either your first book and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah,
I just
bro.
tapped into like something crazy.
Yep.
It really is important because it shifts the mind, right? Because like I know before I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I'm like, damn, there's a whole nother world out here that I'm not even tapping into. I'm an employee. I thought to myself that I'm a loser. Not saying that employees are losers. Y'all are not losers. But this is what I thought about myself. I'm like, yo, I'm a fucking loser. I need to figure this out.
You know what's funny? I feel like I have already read Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I haven't read a sentence in that book.
Yeah, pretty much. They're all the same, bro. At the end of the day, all the books are the same.
Yeah.
But cool, bro. So you read this Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and then you start taking action in your business?
Yeah, so we started doing on-market wholesaling. So I was reaching out to realtors. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I started taking action. Started calling these realtors up, seeing if I can get anyone under contract. Never got anyone under contract with on market. But my friend Chris, he did some more research. He's like, oh, this thing called PropStream. You can find homeowners off market. I was like, okay, off market. I don't know what that is, but let's get to it. So we used to we used to go on PropStream and get like small lists on PropStream and skip trace the list with with whatever money we had. We just scrape money together, trying to skip trace these houses to find the owners. And we used to put the addresses in our notes on my iPhone and skip trace it, put the number of the owner, the name, and then if we called them or try to get in contact with them, we would put contacted. So that's how I first started, right? So we had like 1,000 addresses.
So you didn't wait to get a CRM or like
No, I didn't even know what that was, bro.
Did you have an LLC?
Well, this is why we have picked Real Estate Wavy to come up here, because we know he's an action taker. Yep. So if you guys want to come up here on the hot seat, like, one qualification is to be a freaking action taker. Because what Daryll said earlier, we have told people advice and they go out and they actually freaking utilize it and their lives have changed. I want to do that rather than just give some advice and nothing happen. And that's why you're up here, bro. So we see you out here in these streets getting active. What are you doing right now as far as the wholesaling goes? Like, what are your business look like?
Yeah, so me and my partner, we run a wholesale off market, real estate company. So we're direct to the seller. And so right now, so let me back up a little bit. 2 years ago, I met my partner and we had VAs. We had VAs doing cold calling and all that. Now we don't have any cold callers. And
step back, because I know you. I know your story. I know.
Okay.
I know what you guys did. So I think we skipped a big part. After you first figured out what on market was, right? You started skip tracing and you had the notes in your phone and stuff like that. What did it look like there? Did you have success right away? Did it take long for you to get a deal? Where were you at right there in that phase?
So this is a good story that I love telling. I haven't told it that much, but me and my friend, we used to go like driving, hanging out, and then we would see these bandit signs on the road that would say we're cash buyers, right? So we were doing that, and then an opportunity came where my friend, his name is D'Angelo, his mom wanted to sell her house in Orlando. So like, all right, bet. So we gave her an offer. She accepted the offer. We got it under contract, and then we had these buyers that we got from bandit signs, and we called these buyers saying, hey, we have this property under contract. What's your offer? The whole spill. And this guy named Shane picks up and he's like, oh yeah, let me take a look at the property. Let me take a look at it and let me see what we can make happen with it. So he comes back, he comes back and tells me that that they're wholesalers as well. And
what are the odds? Hold on, talk about what are the odds that you call a bandit sign and it's not an actual buyer? I don't think people know that. I mean, obviously a lot of people who are watching this now are like in the real estate community. So you probably know by now that is a form of marketing, right? Like bandit signs is that's a wholesaler every single time. But it's crazy because like before I was in this space, I had no clue that like those signs were wholesalers. Half the time when you call them, I'm surprised Shane even answered the phone. Shane's a good one because half the time when you call them, the phone's disconnected. Nobody answers.
Yeah, they didn't answer. So
there's a Google number that they never answer. But yeah, here's what they're doing with a bandit sign. Bandit sign, all it is marketing, what Daryll just said. So it's a great way, though, for me, right? In my business, we do direct to seller marketing just like you do. And I don't sell any of my deals. I go to other wholesalers to sell deals, right? Because they have a bunch of cash buyers. So it's actually a good way to connect with other wholesalers who might have a bunch of cash buyers. And who knows, you might run into a couple cash buyers here and there. But I love it, bro. That's super dope.
Oh yeah. So what did Shane say, bro? When Shane reached out to you, he told you he's a wholesaler, and what happened next?
He's like, let's JV. I'm like, all right, let's JV. I don't know nothing. Like, I don't know how to find a buyer. I kind of do. You say what?
I said, what's JV?
JV is joint venture.
That's probably what you were saying. Like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what the heck is JV? He just said we're just gonna find a buyer and then we'll split the wholesale fee. I was like, all right, cool. So they had some buyers come in. They gave offers. We were going to close, and then my friend's mom backed out at closing day. So I was like, all right, cool.
What?
It wasn't a big deal. And at that time, I was working as a line cook. And when I heard that we were going to make money, I quit my job. I quit my job. And then the funny thing is, I had an apartment that was paying bills. I had to pay bills, so I was like, damn, okay. So a couple weeks passed by, and I'm like, dang, I'm not getting any traction with getting a wholesale deal. I was still calling, and then I called.
Let's stop. Hold on. Pause, bro. So you quit your job. You had a property in escrow that you were planning on closing. I stopped because this is a valuable lesson, right? This is a valuable lesson that if you're listening right now, this is going to be one of the. This is the best thing you learned so far in 2022. If you didn't hear this already, right? 2023, my bad. But you had a property under contract.
Mm-hmm.
You were planning on the money. You planning on closing, right?
Yeah.
You had already spent this money in your head. How much were you supposed to make?
It wasn't a lot, bro. Honestly, it was like $5,000.
$5K. So my man's like, okay, bet I got $5K coming. I quit my job, right?
Yep.
Like, how many deals have you done in real estate that were just perfect, clean closes? You knew as soon as you lock this up, you're closing on this specific date, and nothing goes wrong.
Pretty much almost like every single one of mine at least gets some sort of like extension.
Every time, right?
Some sort of reason.
I learned it's crazy because I learned this valuable lesson early on in my career as well, which I'm super grateful for. Do not spend that money until it touches your bank account.
Facts.
Until it reaches your pocket. Don't even mentally spend it. Don't even forget about
mentally
it.
Spend is bad.
Just forget about it and go find another deal. Because what you're going to do is you're going to focus so much on that one deal closing. And then what happens when that deal doesn't close? Now you have nothing else. You have nothing else. So now imagine if you have 5 deals, 10 deals under contract where now what happens if they all get pushed back? What are the odds of those 10 deals that you have under contract, one of them closing the day that it's supposed to? You know what I'm saying? So focus on quality and quantity. Quantity for sure, but you never want to have one lead in your pipeline. One deal is supposed to close in your pipeline of contracts of all times. So
now here's one thing that I can give for advice for people that like to alleviate that is we try to maintain at least 3 to 4 months worth of expenses in our account, because if we're direct seller marketing, we have an overhead every single month that we have to hit. So we'll have 3 to 4 months in our bank account for that and for those expenses every single month. And then, we're not like sick when a freaking deal goes through or a deal falls through, you know what I mean? Or like when something gets extended, or there's always something on every single deal. There's always something. There's never been a deal that I've ever done that was just like smooth, easy. Hey, this is exactly how it's supposed to go. And it went that way. There's always like at least a little extension or a scare that a buyer's going to back out, or like some bullshit always happens on every single deal. And one thing to help that is obviously in the beginning, you might not have the funds to like have cushion like that, but we try to keep at all points 3 to 4 months worth of expenses. And then if we go over that, let's just say in the account, there's like 7 months worth of expenses. We know that we have to get rid of that extra 3 months immediately, that we got to dump it in more into marketing or something like that. So that's just one little trick that we do. But Evan, keep going, bro.
Yeah. So I quit my job, had the apartment. I had some leads I was still talking to, thinking I was going to get a deal. One day I called this guy. His name was Kareem. I was just sitting on the couch like, man, I need to get the deal. I called this guy named Kareem in Jacksonville. He picks up. I'm like, you interested in selling? He's like, yeah. It's like, oh shoot. But when you first start wholesaling, and then somebody says they're interested in selling, you get like, oh, what do I say now? So like I built rapport with him. He was a real cool guy. Him and his dad, they had this property in Jacksonville. It was vacant and it was messed up. Didn't know what I was doing. But my friend Chris ran some numbers and it worked. But we didn't get the contract yet because I didn't know what I was doing. So at this point, I'm like, dang, I need to get a job. So Applied to Panera Bread, right? So I go to Panera Bread for the interview. Finish the interview. I was sitting down in Panera Bread. I'm like, dang, bro, I need some help. So I contact the bandit sign, the guys that were on the bandit sign, Keenan and Shane. So I text Keenan. I'm like, bro, is this a deal? Like, is this house a deal? He ran the numbers too. He's like, oh, it's a solid deal. So they called Kareem and we get under contract and then we close and we make 11 grand. And then
Dope.
after that,
Dang,
the
bro.
rest is history. Yeah.
Dope. That's dope. You know what I love about that? I was actually just watching a video today. It was Layla Hermosi. She was talking about how to become a millionaire, right? The steps to becoming a millionaire. She said step number 1 is you need to realize that you suck. If you're not good, you need to realize that you suck. And once you realize that you suck and you come to terms with it, you need to figure out what to do to not suck. And that's most times reach out to somebody who doesn't suck and have them help you. So in this case, you reached out to Shane. You realize, hey, I really don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just taking swings at the plate, but I have no direction. Let me reach out to Shane, the guy who he has some type of direction. He has bandit signs out here. I have an idea that he does deals. So let me reach out to him and see what he can do. You reach out to him, and this guy makes you you make $11,000.
Yeah, bro.
So I'm like, do we have a sound? Do we have some sauce for that, bro? 11K. Let's go, man.
That was still a tough deal because there were like the title got backed up. There were like liens or something that we had to get taken care of. But that during that time it was COVID, so we kind of finessed it to where, like we said, it was like a COVID like type of situation where the seller got COVID, so they took all the liens away. So yeah, and then after that, first year, Keenan hit me up, was like, bro, you want to work with us? I was like, yeah, bro, let's do it. So I started cold calling for them, and then I became like the closer for them. In that first year, I closed like 25 deals.
Dang,
Yeah.
bro.
You closed 25 deals your first year on working on somebody's acquisitions team?
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. And this isn't the same. Is this your partner today?
Yeah. Same partner, yeah.
Okay. I love that. So where did it go from? So you closed 25 deals year 1. What happened next? Where are we at now?
So that was 2021. Then going into 2022, we had some deals in the pipeline. So 2022. Last year, we had some deals closed. We had one big deal that we closed like 50 grand. We bought it and just relisted it. So we didn't close as many deals as we had like the previous year, and I'm not sure if you guys want me to get into that, the reason why, like what happened in that time frame.
Well, talk about your role before that. Talk about your role in the year that you did 25 deals. Like what were you doing? I know you said you were the main acquisition guy, but like what did your day-to-day look like? And then what did everybody else's day-to-day look like?
Yeah, so this is a funny story. So so when I started cold calling a couple weeks, and then Shane tells me, all right, bro, it's like, I think a couple of days in, he's like, all right, you're going to start closing deals. You're going to start getting contracts. I'm kind of scared, like, because he's throwing me in with the Sharks, but that was good for him to do that for me. So making these calls to sellers, at that time,
Hold on. We got to touch on that really quick. So he threw you in the fire and you were scared. You're like, dang, bro, I don't think I'm ready to close deals just yet.
Yeah.
Right. But like, touch on that, because some people are afraid as business owners to have somebody like Real Estate Wavy come on their team and just do calls for them and close for them. They might be scared to like let somebody do that. So what was his name again? Shane, yeah. Shane, like, I respect Shane for that, because Shane knows, hey, Evan's going to learn by actually doing the thing. And a lot of people in the business that own a business will be scared to let somebody do that. But can you touch on, since you were the one that was thrown in the fire, how that helped you out?
That helped me out a lot, because when I got on the phone, it was like smooth, because I was already calling sellers. I just didn't know like the like how to close the deal. So I was listening to Shane call sellers and, you know, got the hang of it. I was like, all right, bet. So I'm gonna just start calling sellers and getting these contracts. It was easy for me because I was already calling sellers, cold calling. I wasn't scared. It was just like, oh dang, already that fast? Like, you know, being, you know, an acquisition like that fast. It was kind of like, okay. So yeah, he threw me in with the Sharks, and I really appreciate him for doing that. But
Love it. So
Yeah,
I had to learn that too the hard way as I had my sales guy starting out. I
Yeah.
was like trying to hold on to the position. I was trying to like baby him too much and micromanage him too much. And ultimately I was just shooting him in the foot and shooting myself in the foot as well. And my business changed once here's what I said. I said, "Hey bro, you're just in charge of that job now. That's your job. The only time I'm not going to coach you anymore, I'm not going to micromanage your phone calls anymore or anything like that. The only time that we go over stuff together is when you bring stuff to the table, is when you bring an opportunity to the table and you need help with it." And that's literally what I did. I did a whole entire series on my YouTube channel called How to Wholesale. And what it was is it was me and my acquisitions team going over any leads they needed help with for an hour a day. And that's all my job was in the acquisition business, as far as like helping them get deals and everything like that. I was going on some appointments and stuff as well, but it really helped. It like shortened the learning curve by like crazy for him actually going out and just nutting up and doing the thing. So I love it.
Yo, can you talk about, because you said you were scared, right? Can you talk about what made you just do it anyways?
At that time, I was in a phase where I really wanted success bad. I was, you know, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read that, and then I read Think and Grow Rich, and then I started listening to this guy whose name was Wesley Virgins, and I was just obsessed. I was obsessed. I had a burning desire to actually change my life, and I did, bro. So that just having that burning desire to actually want something better than what I had before, you know, being a line cook and not knowing what I wanted to do in life. Because I went to culinary school and all that, but I just didn't see it as me being a line cook forever. I wanted that wealth. I wanted that success. I wanted to, you know, I want to change my family's life. So real estate was the way. So
Question, because you said you started to say that the following year after you did 25 deals, the year before was slower.
mhm.
Would you say you got comfortable?
Yeah, pretty much. I wasn't being the leader I was supposed to be. I wasn't training my team right. I wasn't training them as much as I should have. And all that.
So we skipped a step.
Yeah.
You had a team.
Yeah.
You have a team now. You went from acquisitions manager to having a team.
When I came onto the team, they already had them. They already hired them, so they already had the VAs and all that when I came on.
Okay, so that first year, your job was to manage the team and close deals?
No, not my job wasn't to manage. My job was just to close. But so
Okay.
the story that happened was, not trying to get too far like into it, but we're not partners with Shane anymore. But so that's when I took on the role as you know, training the team and all that stuff.
And when was that?
Yeah, that was like that was like the middle of 2021, like July.
So it was almost near like the second year, like the start of the second year. Okay, got it. All right, cool.
Well,
so we have
yeah, you're right.
We have Evan, who started in somebody else's business, pretty much came in as a partner and started closing deals for this business. So guys, what he was doing is his job in the beginning was to only call sellers. All his job was to do was to call sellers all day and lock them up. And then one of the partners left, and now he steps into a management position / closer as well. So he's helping other people on the team that are doing lead generation, I'm assuming, and doing lead follow-up and doing the closing. He's helping them have the right conversations. So now he's doing a couple of things. He's in charge of getting deals done, and he's in charge of making sure everybody else is helping get those deals done. So I love it. And that's kind of where you're at right now in the second year, right?
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, cool. Let's go over some church announcements, and then we'll get back to Evan to see exactly what we can do with him. Daryll, what do you got, bro?
Bro, so I don't know if people know, but last week I started a Discord channel. This Discord channel is set up to where you're gonna have everything you need to close a deal, close your first deal, close your second deal, close your third deal. It's building a community of people who really want to get good on the phones and start closing real estate deals. So I started, Mike, I started this shit last week, bro. We already got 186 people in there. Like, shout out to Wavy, because Wavy actually holds role plays in there every single day for the next 60 days. I believe they're doing a 60-day challenge of role plays every single day at 9 a.m.
That's gangster.
Not 9 a.m., right?
Yeah, 9 a.m.
9 a.m. East Coast time. Like, without me, I'm not even there. Like, they're doing that, right? So dope as hell. And what we're doing actually this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we are doing a role play competition where you can come to test your skills in the role play competition, and you're gonna get actual feedback from myself, other high-level closers who are doing business. Yo, Mike, you trying to pull up, bro? You trying to be a judge this weekend? Or
You know I'm in there, dog.
All right, bet. So we got Mike there this weekend, which is even.
So you can only get on that role play if you're in that group, right?
You got to be in the Discord. You have to be in the Discord.
Yeah.
I just posted it in the chat. So tomorrow, actually, in the Discord, I'm gonna post the sign-up link to get onto the role play competition. And guys, this is low stakes, right? It's all fun. We're here to get better. That's what it's about. I love competing. I'm sure other people love competing as well. If you love competing, then join. If you don't love competing, then don't join. We're here to get better. We're gonna have special guests come in and give feedback, and we have a special guest for the winner as well. So it's gonna be a little.
What if we do this? What if we do the winner gets the next hot seat?
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it automatically.
So, the winner of Daryl's role play gets to be on the hot seat for the next hot seat, which will be in 2 weeks.
It's done.
Let's go. I love that.
Hey, Wavy, if you win, what's up, bro? You gonna be up here again?
Shoot, part 2.
Or maybe what we'll do is the runner-up will have to come up, and then we'll have Evan help that next person up.
For sure.
We'll have 4 of us on here. Anyways, that Discord is fire. Like, I've been in there. I looked at the whole layout and looked at all the content, and I'm like, holy crap, Daryll really did a good job with this thing. So you guys are gonna want to get on there. I have still the same message that I had last week. This Facebook group I have is similar to what Daryl's doing with the Discord. And what you're going to do is I'm going to post a link right here. You'll get an email with the invite to that Facebook group. And I'm posting seller calls in there, just like unreleased stuff that I don't post on my YouTube. I post a lot of seller calls and some sauce on my YouTube, but I'm going like a little bit more in depth in this community. And then by January 31st, we're locking that community up, and you're actually going to have to pay to get into it. The reason I'm doing that is because people that have been following me deserve to be in that group. So you guys that have been following me for maybe like a year now, I've been posting content for probably about a year now. And if you guys have been following me for a year now and you've got some sauce, I've had so many people come up to me and just say and DM me and just say, hey, Mike, I've literally gotten deals from your YouTube channel, and those people deserve to be in that group. So we're going to lock it up January 31st, but I want y'all to get in there before we lock it up. And then from there, we got something else heating up as well, which will be maybe another church announcement on next week or the week after that's podcast. So stay tuned for that. But if you go down in that link that I just dropped right here, you will get an email to get access to that free Facebook group. That is not going to be free forever, and it's private.
Dang, I don't want to miss that. That is some sauce. Mike said he got the secret special sauce in the Facebook group. Yo, did you accept me in the group, bro? I know I requested. I sent the email, bro. I signed up.
I must have.
all right, bet. All right, bet. Because I need to.
A lot of people have been signing up. I can't keep track, bro.
Yeah, I need to get that sauce. Make sure y'all get in there for the 31st. I got 20 days precisely before that thing is locked. And I'm telling Mike to charge $20K to get in there. So if he takes my advice, then you might want to hurry up. But it is worth it. It is worth it. I'm telling you. But yeah, bet. So let's get into it. Were we ready for the hot seat? Ready for the hot seat, bro?
Yeah, bro. So let's figure out where you're at right now. We passed the first year. Now let's go into the second year where you're are you having some troubles with managing the team or something?
Well, this is the third year now.
Okay.
So we actually fired all of our cold callers and stuff. So yeah. Why?
Yeah.
After the second year? So hold on. Let's back up really quick. Crushed it the first year.
Yeah.
Had a year's worth of like 25 deals closed. Second year, it sounds like you were closing and managing the team. And managing the team being virtual assistants, cold calling and texting, generating leads, and maybe some lead managers following up with those leads and other closers, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So that was year 2. And what did year 2 look like as far as like deal flow and stuff?
I think last year we closed like maybe 5 or 6 deals. So it went down. So what happened, like I said, I didn't take control as a leader and train my team. So they weren't getting as many leads as, as we thought they would. Texting, the same thing as well. The leads weren't coming in as good. We did close one deal from SMS. But the deals weren't coming in as we thought they would because of I would blame that on me. I'm going to blame that on myself. I didn't take responsibility to train my team like I was supposed to and have the meetings every single day.
Was the first year the same team as the second year, or did you grow the team?
So the first year we had 3 VAs. We did have like 4. So what we did was we turned one of our top VAs into a lead manager, and then we brought on another VA. So we had 3 VAs, 1 lead manager, and 1 texter. And she was making the calls, the lead manager. But we missed out on a lot of deals, I would say, because when I checked my CRM, we had deals that fell through the cracks because of whatever reason. I would say the reason there wasn't the deals that fell through, I would say because she was following up with them, but we weren't able to get them on the phone. So it was hard to get them on the phone, some of them. And some of them weren't followed up with as well. So I didn't train her as good as I should have either as a lead manager.
So why do you think we weren't able to get them on the phone? Do you think it was like a phone number issue or a systems issue, a working issue?
Honestly,
conversation issue where they're killing leads?
Honestly, bro, I think it could have been. Honestly, I don't know what it was, because she was calling the leads. I think it could have been maybe our numbers. Maybe they were coming out as spam because we weren't changing our numbers. I'm not sure what was going on. We never figured that out.
So were you tracking any KPIs for her?
Yeah, so we have Salesforce. So we tracked how many appointments she had per week.
Okay.
So they were, yeah. We tracked how many appointments she had set per week and all that stuff. How many calls a day? She was doing about 100 a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she was doing about 100 a day, which is pretty good. You want to be somewhere between 100 and like 150 dials a day. So what this means, guys, is your lead managers and your closers, everybody on the sales team. So the sales team consists of people that are following up leads and people that are closing leads. The lead gen team is a completely different team, and it's completely different KPIs. But the KPIs down here with the closing and follow-up team, is 100 to 150 dials a day. Okay, that's like double dials. That's all to existing leads in your system.
Hold on, so you're counting the double, so like 50 calls or like 200 calls, $200 a day.
Dials. Every single time you press the call button, that could be a double dial, that could be a triple dial, whatever. Every single time you press a button to call, that counts as a dial.
Dang, don't let my acquisitions people hear that, bro. I don't tell them. I hope y'all not listening. Don't listen to Mike if y'all here. If y'all on my team, don't listen to him.
Oh, can I say one thing? So she made the calls, right? At that time I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Salesforce, but with Salesforce, so with Salesforce, it's a whole built out CRM where you can dial in the CRM, send text in the CRM, do all the good stuff, track KPIs. And so we had so many leads in our CRM that we weren't able to keep up with the leads. So
because now you're in like year 3, right? With generating leads for 3 years, and there's only one lead manager.
Yeah, so this was the
pipeline. Leads.
Yeah, we had so many leads, and I think that was one key part that I think we have so many deals fall through is because we have so many leads that we couldn't keep up with. Right? We weren't what's it called? What's the word? We weren't efficient. We were just like running through all the leads, not being efficient, not saying, okay, we need to follow up with this lead we need to follow up with this lead better than the other one because this one is more motivated.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one reason I think we so many deals fell through.
Got it. Okay. One big KPI, right, is talk time. Mm-hmm. How long are they talking on the phone? Now, dials, it tells you something, right? Are they sitting there literally dialing through the CRM? That tells you if they're physically working.
Right.
The talk time tells you how well they are working, right? So they should be having like 2 hours minimum of talk time a day. Minimum. Like literally of them actually talking to people on the phone. This is like having a real dialect back and forth type of conversation for 2 hours straight. So when you're dialing 100 to 150 people a day, out of those dials, you should be having minimum, and this is a bare minimum, 2 hours worth of talk time a day. It's like I literally hopped on the phone with a seller today, just random in my system. I hopped on the phone with my team, and I'm like, hey, somebody give me a lead to call. Somebody dropped a lead, and I'm like, all right, let's call them. Call them. Never talked to the guy in my life. Had like a 25-minute conversation with the guy. That's like a sixth of that's like a quarter of the time that you need to, just a little bit under a quarter of the time that you need to be talking during the day. So you hit it with like these longer conversations, right? But it's important that you're like trying to extract as much out of every single conversation. And in order to figure out if your team is doing that, you look at their talk time. So if you're looking at their talk time and their talk time is super low, but they're doing a shit ton of dials, then it's telling you, hey, I should probably go back and listen to their conversations to see what the heck they're saying, because it sounds like they might be killing leads.
Yeah, because actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't track the talk time. And the funny thing is, so when we closed a couple of deals from her being a lead manager, but not as good, right? And so we changed her back into a cold caller, and I wasn't tracking her talk time there as well, you know? Mm-hmm. So when I brought on I think I'm moving too fast, but we ended up firing her because I caught her calling solar, like for another business, solar, while she's letting the dollar run. I'm like, dang, okay. We had her for like 2 years and she's doing us like this. Hell. So I feel like the talk time.
She's out, bro.
She's out, crazy. Bro. When I found out about that, I was like, whoa.
Nah, dude, that's one thing for people watching. Virtual assistants can be sneaky. Like I had one virtual assistant one time driving for dollars for me, and she added like this. I haven't had a virtual assistant ever drive for dollars for me before. Okay, so this is my first time. And the first day she had like freaking like 7 properties added. I'm like, all right, homegirl was working for like 5 hours. There ain't no way all she added was 7 properties. Okay. And then I asked her the next day, I'm like, hey, what happened yesterday? I only saw 7 that was added. She was like, oh yeah, I couldn't really find any. I'm like, all right, well, let's try harder today. Okay. In the first hour of that day, the second day, right? The first hour of that second day, she added 30 properties.
Dang.
Immediately, I was like, this is a wrap. We're not a good fit.
Nope.
Because you're telling me you did 30 in an hour and you only did 7 yesterday, but you couldn't find any. Like, obviously, that's cap. So it wasn't a good fit. So sometimes you just gotta see it. You gotta know it when you know it and cut the cord.
So-
Yeah. But anyways, Evan, so you have now what does it look like?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we realized that since we have like, bro, we have like 400,000 records, like of like lists that we bought, and we weren't handling that data right. So we looked into REI SIF like the beginning of 2022, but my partner looked into it and it seemed like we could only add like 10,000 records for like a month, month at a time. But come to find out, we can add all of our records. It's just $5 for 10,000 records. So now what we're doing is we put all of our data into REI SIF, and we're filtering that data to see which properties are going vacant. We're still trying to get the hang of REI SIF, but that's what we're doing right now as far as our data side. I just brought on a lead manager. Shout out to Calvin. He's in sub 2.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a dog, bro. He just started yesterday. Yesterday he made about 80 calls, but then I talked to D Dog, aka Daryll, aka D Dog, and he said he needs to at least make 100 calls. So I told him that this morning. He made like 104 calls today. So, right now we're rebuilding our team. Right now I'm doing SMS, and I'm following up with leads that I've been following up with from the past. So Calvin, he's actually dialing leads in smartphone dialer. So he's dialing through those leads every day and seeing which ones like actually want to sell. So he's filtering the leads for us.
At this point, you have no virtual assistants.
Nope, no virtual assistants. No.
All you have is a shit ton of leads from all these leads that you've generated over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And how many leads is that?
I will have to check. Let me see. I think we have about
just a rough estimate.
I don't want to, maybe like 3,000, 4,000.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. So that's enough to keep like 2 lead managers busy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still. I did an Instagram video the other day explaining the funnel, right? Explaining lead gen over here and sales over here. You need to have them both working at all times, right? Because the lead gen feeds the funnel, and at the top of the funnel is where all the lead managers' leads kind of lie. And then as they get more hot, they trickle down the funnel, and that's where your closers close them up and you make money. But at all times, it should be like a revolving cycle. So what's happening right now, it's almost just like you said, all right, screw it. We have like 3,000 leads. Let's just fill the funnel. And now they're going to start dropping. They're going to start dropping. They're going to start dropping. And then what happens from there, this funnel is going to dry up. You're probably going to get deals from that, from like going through all 3,000 of those leads. And then maybe you're going to make a lot of money that you can dump into marketing and a team and stuff like that, and maybe do it a different way for the next time. So that's a good move in order to like get some cash in the door. But at the end of the day, you have to have the lead gen like still pumping into that funnel, no matter if it's cold calling and texting or maybe like a JV type of model. There always needs to be leads going in that funnel if you want something to stay consistent.
Right. So we're on launch control right now. So I'm doing the SMS on that. but the leads aren't there as well. Like the leads aren't coming in as great.
Why are the leads not coming? Why do you think the leads aren't coming in great?
So I'm not going to say his name, but they're in sub 2. We partnered with them, and they have a lot of records too that they couldn't handle because they don't do that type of business like us. So they gave us those records, and then whatever records whatever leads we close, they will have the first right of refusal to buy it, and then whatever they don't want, we'll wholesale it. But so they gave us these records, and the records are really old. So we were hitting that for a couple of months, and so now we're back, with our records and trying to figure out how can we filter these records down to get some deals going. But
so Evan right now during the day is texting to generate leads.
Yeah.
Bro, you're a high level dog. You should not be doing that.
You shouldn't.
Like you're a freaking closer. You did 25 deals in a year, dog. You know how many leads it takes to get a deal? Like 50. Okay, for you it's probably less than that. So like Evan spending his time generating leads and then finally gets a deal after lead like 30 or 40 or something like that. But he spent all of his time doing something that a virtual assistant could have done. So here are my thoughts. And Daryll, let me know what you think. You have a lot of leads in the pipeline that need to be cleaned up. So definitely people in your community that want to come in and start tackling those leads and freaking crush those leads and start putting them down the funnel. That's going to help you like get some cash in the door to then fund your lead gen. But what I'm saying is like, focus on that. Focus on extracting the top of the funnel right now. And then at the same time, you don't need to like force it and get like 4 VAs and start pumping the system. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is just go figure out what your system is when it comes to lead gen and maybe just get one virtual assistant. And don't expect her to get you a shit ton of deals in the first like month. Like use that as like the system builder.
What do you say? Mike, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
So figure out exactly what everything looks like. So what your scripts look like, and you probably already have some scripts, what your coaching is going to look like for that person, what your onboarding is going to look like for that person coming in next. Like figure out what your KPIs are, get all your KPIs in duck. Just figure out how to manage that one virtual assistant on a day-to-day basis. And then once these deals start closing from the top of the funnel, you're going to get some money that you're going to be able to then go hire more VAs and light some fire on the leads, right? But it's important to like really hone in on your systems and processes and stuff in the beginning while your team's small, because it sounds like what happened is when Homeboy left, right? When Homeboy left the business, there was this team that was growing and growing and growing, and the systems and processes weren't in place in order to make it happen, and then all of a sudden stuff starts falling through.
Yeah, you know I was talking to Daryll about that when he said to me like SOPs. I'm like, what the heck is an SOP? So I didn't know what that was. Our systems and processes were in order. That's where I really messed up at. So I'm actually doing that right now as far as like looms. So I just did a loom for like my lead manager, going through the CRM and so as soon as we bring on another lead manager, I don't have to go through all that training like what I did for him.
That's one thing that, just looking back on things like the past 3 years that I've been in business, that's one thing that I wish that I wish that was the one piece of advice that I did get when I first started. Exactly what Mike told you, right? What you want to do is you want to start with the end in mind, right? Like, in your head that you want a wholesale business, right? So what does that look like? You need closers, you need lead managers, you need dispo, you need transaction coordinator. Start with putting all that on paper, right? Everything you need, and fill out those positions, right? Who's in that position right now, and who do you want to be in that position in the future, right? So what I did was on mine, I have lead managers, closers, and if it was me, my name's in that spot, right? And then in parentheses, I'll put VA, right, or virtual assistant, because I know I want to replace myself with a virtual assistant, right? But right now, that's my name. So I would say go into it like that, right? And like Mike said, make sure every single part of your business, figuring out what part do you want to replace yourself in first, and then make sure you have every SOP, every procedure, and everything outlined, right? So when they get on, when they join the team, they don't need to ask any questions. Like I finally did that for the first time. Had my SOPs done. Spent a lot of time to get it done for my lead manager, right? Onboarded a new lead manager, and we had a one-on-one meeting, and he was just telling me how grateful he was for the onboarding package, right? That has the script, the SOPs, the Loom videos, the follow-up schedule. It has everything on there. And he's like, yeah, when I had a question, I didn't have to bother you. I didn't have to bother Kashif. I could just go on there, watch the video, and get right back to work. So it's going to save you time. It's going to save them time. They'll appreciate it a lot more. And it's just way more professional, like now I don't want to bring anybody on my team unless I have a onboarding package to give them. And in that onboarding package, they even got to pass a quiz before they get ready to start. Like they need to pass a couple quizzes and a test before they start on the team. Like, so make sure you have all that done, bro. And cheat code, have your lead managers, the people that you bring on, have them let them know, hey, I'll give them an upfront contract. Hey, my job is to replace you with the virtual assistant, right? What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you swings at the plate. I'm going to give you access to leads. I'm going to give you guidance as I get. I'm going to teach you everything that I know, and my job is to help you make money, right? And replace you with the VA. Your job, you're going to. I already know you want to own. Anybody you bring on that's not a virtual assistant, that's an American, especially if they're in the same community as you, they are going to leave you.
Yeah, right? I told them that too. Like, you're gonna be with me for 6 months or a year. You want to do your own thing.
Expect it, right? And now during this time, it's super crucial for you guys to work together. I would have him help you with these SOPs and help you with just everything, right? Test it out with him and have him give you his thoughts, right? And see how it actually works before you start paying somebody to come on. Because I'm telling you, once you start paying a lead manager, once you start paying a VA and they're on your system, you don't want to waste any time, right? You want them to, okay, boom. Imagine whenever you worked for Panera, like you were saying, when you worked for Panera, right? When you started, was there ever a time where you're like, I don't know what the hell I'm about to do? Nah, it's step by step. They tell you exactly what you're doing, right? So it needs to operate like an actual business.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to scale that out when you want to start big, when you want to start with 5 team members. And I'm saying that from experience. I got the same exact advice from Daryll, and I did not listen to it. People told me in the beginning, Mike, you're trying to do this way too quick. You're trying to get you don't even have a business partner. You don't have anything. All you have is yourself, and you're trying to get 4 VAs at once. It's way too much. And that's what I try to do. And bro, I lost a lot of money in the first 6 months of my business. I didn't make any money. I didn't get any contracts at all in the first 6 or 7 months. And then finally they started hitting, and then I kind of switched things up a little bit. But I thought that, it was, I just need to pour more gas on it. I just need to pour more money into it, and then I'm going to make more money back. I just got to get a bigger team, and then it gives me more opportunities to get deals and better leads. But that was not the case. It was what I had to do is I actually had to downsize from that and go back to the drawing board and figure out, okay, exactly what do I need to do in order to make sure that my team is rocking and rolling and they got everything they need in order to do their job every single day. And then once I did that, I poured into my team. I spent a lot of time and energy pouring into my team. And now I'm on the player coach model because I have a lot of people on my team who are vets. When somebody comes on, I don't even need to have a crazy onboarding process. I just tell my team members to get them ready. I tell one of the veteran lead generators to help her get up to speed. Right. And that's how we have scaled. But
so quick question. So since we're doing texting right now, what should the first step be for that right now?
I think what I would do is I would look into getting a virtual assistant to offload that texting from you And I would direct your time in two different places. I would direct your time, one, in building out and pouring a lot of time and energy into your virtual assistant to make sure that she's generating leads and she has the most opportunities to generate leads, and she's getting coached up, and she knows that's going to be like your person going forward. She hopefully can upgrade to lead manager at some point. So like pour into her, build your systems and processes for lead generation with that one virtual assistant. So direct your time to that. Actually, maybe three places. Direct your time to that, and then direct your time to your sales team, your lead follow-up team, and do the same thing with them, because they have 3,000 leads to work with, right? So you're going to be able to do the same thing to them. You're going to be busy, bro. Right? You're going to be making sure that these leads are coming in from your virtual assistant. Make sure you're building that out the right way so that when somebody else comes on, she can help that person get onboarded, and you also have an onboarding process. And then number two, get your sales team freaking hot and ready. And maybe one of those closers or one of those lead managers becomes an actual closer. And now you don't have to be the person closing all the deals. But a lot is going to happen. It's going to be a lot of work here in the next like 6 months. Because you're going to be generating leads. You're going to be managing this team. You're going to be managing the sales team. And you're going to be getting hot leads sent to you, right? Hot leads sent to you from your sales team that you have to close. So you're going to be like busy, but just stay strong. And as you do that, you'll all of a sudden see, okay, now I get to lift my hands off of the lead generation. Okay. Because my virtual assistant is crushing it and she doesn't really need that much of my time anymore. And then you're going to do the same thing with the sales team.
I have another question. So with launch control, so with REI that we're taking these these people that have vacant properties, we're putting in launch control. But with launch control, when we're uploading it, it's so they're only taking like a small amount from that list, and we're only allowed to take a small amount of those people because those lists are already in the SMS system, and it's saying like it's already existing in there, so we can't retext them.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to retext these people, but we can because that's that barrier there. So my question is, we were thinking about switching from launch control to something else. What would you say about that?
We use batch leads for texting.
We did use batch leads. I think for batch, our numbers were like, was it our numbers for batch leads? Something was wrong as far as
they switched some things up. It was the numbers that you had to get from like Telnix or something like that. With like the provider of the phone numbers switched up and it kind of messed things up. It was like Twilio or something. There was some back end stuff that my business partner deals with. He deals with all that type of stuff that we had to switch, but we still use batch as like the base platform to text out of.
Okay. I think we might switch back to batch because we got so many deals off that.
I was just telling my team today, we've had a couple of slow months here in the past couple of months. And I was telling my team, I'm like, yo, just freaking do what we've been doing.
Yeah.
Like, yo, why, what has switched? I'm confused. It ain't the freaking market. It ain't the freaking holidays. Okay.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. All it is us. We're not doing the same things that we used to do. Okay. We got comfortable. So we got to go back. And here's what happens, bro. I was able to go back and pull back the curtains on the KPIs and figure out, yes, it wasn't the freaking market. And that's what we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves, oh, it's just the market, the market's shifting. Oh, it's just the holidays. It's a slow season. It's all bullshit, bro. When you pull back the curtains and you figure out what the numbers look like, the numbers don't lie. And the numbers were saying, hey, recently we have not been hanging on the phone enough. Like we got to go have better conversations. We're getting lazy with our conversations. We're not asking enough probing questions and everything. And that's what the real problem was.
Right.
And once we figure that out, now we're getting more busy.
So what KPIs are you guys tracking right now?
Very simple. The ones that I already said. The dials, I really don't give a shit about the dials anymore. I really used to. Dials are important though. So dials and talk time. That's it. And then obviously for a lead manager, how many appointments they're setting. For a cold caller, how many leads they're pushing. For a closer, how many deals they're getting. Right, we're tracking the main things. Right, that's like quantifying what they're actually doing for work. But as far as like their day to day, it's just dials and talk time.
Okay, yeah, 1,000 talk time. And for me personally, like when I'm calling sellers, do you guys track made offers?
I don't.
Okay.
I do.
I don't track offers because my team doesn't really give offers. The way my sales process is set up, we get the numbers and stuff from the seller and we kind of back them into the deal. You know what I mean? So it's hard for us to track specific offers. We're not just like, hey, here's the offer.
When I
Right.
hear offer, I hear contracts. So I count that. I count how many contracts have been sent. That's what I consider an offer, right?
Oh,
We send a
okay.
contract,
That makes
that's
sense.
our offer. So
Yeah.
count how many contracts we send out, versus how many contracts are signed, for sure.
I like that.
What about conversations? How many conversations out of the people
I
that
track
have now?
conversations. That's very similar to what Mike was talking about. Talk time. I like the talk time.
Talk time, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I track conversations. I count everything over 60 seconds a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's a gem right there.
Not for real. That's a big gem.
Yeah.
You're not having a quality conversation if it's less than a minute.
I mean, I wouldn't even consider if it's close to a minute as a quality conversation either. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I do for, like, that's just how I filter the system. You know, to filter anything 60 seconds and above is an actual conversation. So yeah. Well, hell
Okay.
yeah. Wavy, what other questions you got for us, bro?
So we want to close 2 deals. We want to close 2 deals a month. I have like a KPI spreadsheet that my partner made out because he did it on Excel. So I guess I just follow that.
So the goal is to do 2 deals a month.
2 deals a month consecutive, yeah.
So it's tricky, right? Because you have a big funnel. Most people are just starting out with like no leads. Okay, you have a big funnel. So if you said you have 2 lead managers, right?
I have one.
One lead manager.
I could probably bring on one more, but just one right now.
I think, yeah. Now that I remember, you did say one. If you bring one more lead manager on, out of those 3,000, you should definitely be able to get at least two deals a month. Actually, they should be doing like 1 deal a week each once they really start cooking and they're up to speed.
Got it.
But that's you closing them, because think about it. A lead manager, what they do is they push leads to the closer.
Oh, trust me, I'll close them.
And I know you do because you're a gangster. So they should be pushing up maybe 2 to 4, depending on how much they're working and how talented they are. 2 to 4 leads to you a month that you should be able to close.
One thing I learned too, right? When you're building a team, make sure from day one you set the expectations straight, right?
Oh, yeah.
From jump, right? This is a lesson that I've actually learned the past couple of weeks, and I've been implementing it with my team. You know, and I had to go back to the drawing board from step one. And I said, hey, you know, I did a bad job of setting the proper expectations of what it's like to work for this team. And I told them, to work for this team, that means excellence. Like you need to be excellent to work for this team. You need to be perfect to work for this team. To work for this team, it means we hit our numbers, we hit our KPIs, and we solve problems, right? We make sure we clear out our pipeline at the end of the day, and we, like I said, solve problems, right? And I set that expectation, and I told them exactly what I said earlier, right? I give them 2 weeks. If they're not hitting their KPIs, if they're not hitting their numbers, I give them 2 weeks, and in that 2 weeks, you don't hit your numbers, we have a meeting. We have a one-on-one meeting, and we figure out what you're doing wrong. We figure out what you need to do better. 2 weeks later goes by, still not hitting your KPIs or your numbers, you're gone. I'm sorry.
What's the what's it called? The industry standard for a lead manager. Let's
I don't know what the hell the industry standard is, but I know my team is at 100 conversations a week, and I'll show you
conversations a week per not per, like
per person. Yeah,
Per person. Okay, cool.
per person, 100
100
conversations.
conversations.
And yeah, and it's
Alright.
crazy because I had asked Olu, right? I asked my guy Olu because me and Olu used to make calls together. He used to come to my house, and we used to sit in the apartment all day and just make calls. And I asked him, I'm like, yo, am I tripping? Like I've been asking the team, like the team's been telling me that they want to make 50 calls and have 50 conversations in a week. And I said, bro, a week? Like, were we not having like 50 conversations in a day? And he's like, yeah, like close to it, 35 to 40 easily. He's like 50 a week they're tripping. And I'm like, nah, they're tripping. And I've been lenient on it too. I've been letting them rock with the 50 a week. And I had to make a change. I'm like, nah, this is what we're doing now. And if you don't hit these numbers, you're telling me you don't want to be a part of the team. Best believe the numbers have skyrocketed, bro. The numbers are going up. You know what I'm saying? And what you want to do as well is you want to have a scoreboard, right? You want to have a sales scoreboard that they are able to see. They're able to look at the numbers daily, the KPIs, and hold each other accountable and compete.
And the whole team can see, yeah.
The whole team can see. And I'll show you what mine looks like right now. But the whole team needs to be able to see this and check it whenever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what mine looks like. I built it on Miro. This is the acquisition scoreboard. So as you see, the month of January, we're moving pretty slow, right? And this is why we had these conversations. You know, our contract, one per person, one contract a week. These are the targets. Everybody knows the target. Everybody knows the goals. 100 conversations a week, one contract a week makes it. We have 3 acquisitions people. That makes it 3 contracts a week, 12 contracts a month, right? 12 deals a month. That our goal is to have around 10 deals a month. So it adds up, right? Now here are the numbers for the week. Here's how we're doing, and people can see as well, right? One thing that they're not gonna, that they'll see is the numbers don't lie, right? So you'll see here Isaiah. My team, I'm calling him out right now. I don't care, but you'll see Isaiah as he's made the most calls out of all the closers. These are my closers. These are my lead managers. Isaiah's made the most calls out of the closers. There's no wonder why he's the only one with 2 contracts, right? Like it's directly correlated. Everything is directly correlated, and the numbers are here. So everybody holds each other accountable. Everybody sees this, and what I'm implementing now is we have team bonuses, monthly team bonuses. So if everybody hits the goals for the month, team bonuses for the month, the whole team gets a bonus. So that's going to help build the team atmosphere, build the competition within each other, just help everybody work together and help each other out so we can accomplish those goals, because people want the money. You know what I'm saying? If you accomplish these goals and we hit our targets in the month, you're going to have, as a business owner, you're going to have enough money to pay everybody bonuses. So
really good. I love that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's something to think about as you build your team, bro. As you build the team, but have the end in mind. As you're starting from the bottom, you are in a beautiful position where your team is small and you're able to start fresh, right? Beautiful position, bro. It's a blessing in disguise, because you're going to continue to go through the same problems that you're going through now until you have that shit set up, until you have the right systems and processes in place. I was actually telling my team, and sorry for going a little long, but I was actually telling my team, right? It's crazy. We had this exact conversation today. I'm like, I was thinking, and like, I don't have the systems and processes set up right now for a closer, right? So if they get a contract, there's no set systems in place to tell them what exactly to do after they get a contract, or even how to send a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If those steps aren't in place and they don't know how to do that, how do I expect them to get contracts and get deals? If it's just not even in line, it's almost like I'm expecting them to not get a contract because I don't even have the plan in place for them to get a contract. So like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I can't blame nobody but myself, right? And that's the type of mentality you need to have as a business owner, right? Because it's always something that that you can do differently. And I was asking myself, I'm doing all this training. I'm training the team. I'm putting everything in place. We're meeting every single day. The leads are there. What am I doing wrong? And it's because my systems aren't in place, my processes aren't in place. Everybody, there was no hub for somebody to just say, what do I do? Okay, boom, click on this, figure out this is what I do now. It wasn't there, you know? So once that's there, bro, you're like I said, you're in a beautiful spot because it's gonna take like Mike was saying earlier, it's gonna take a lot of work. You're gonna be what our mentor Pace talks about. You're hugging toilets. You're in that phase right now where you're hugging toilets. You're wearing all the hats. You're doing all the things, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a lot of long nights.
Let's do it.
But you have to ask yourself, is this what I really want to do? And you have to continue to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why? That's such a powerful thing to ask yourself. You know, like I was on a run the other day, and I dead ass asked myself that question. I was tired as hell. I said, why the hell do I keep on doing it? Why do I keep on putting myself through these damn positions? Like, why do I keep on putting myself in this position? And your brain starts to find the answer. Like, why am I doing this? And I couldn't find the answer. And I ran way better than I did starting off.
I love it.
Hell yeah. Hell
So
Good advice, bro.
I just want to give like I really appreciate you guys for doing this. Like, this is awesome, bro. Like, this is like
sure,
the
bro.
best. It's the best thing that ever happened, especially in the beginning of the year. So I know how to, what the steps are for the upcoming months. So first step is get my systems and processes in order. Bring on SMS assistant. Switch platforms to batch. Bring on another lead manager, and get those SOPs and everything in order, and track my KPIs. Is that the first step? Am I missing anything?
Yes, sir. And then what's going to happen is your sales team or your lead manager team is going to start pumping those leads down to you, and you are now the closer. So your day is going to get busy with follow-ups and contracts and all that type of stuff. And as that happens, you should start scaling out of helping your lead gen system and your lead manager system. But what I was just going to ask, and we don't have too much time left, but I was going to ask is what role is your business partner playing?
He's the CEO.
Okay. So
I think he's in here right now.
Well, there should be somebody managing all those SOPs and systems and processes and stuff like that, and then somebody else managing the sales team and closing and stuff. But like the advice that we just gave you is like a one-man band type of thing. So if you guys, if you have a business partner, you guys are going to get somewhere a lot quicker. If let's just say you are the one that manages, you're good. Let's just say you are the one that manages all the systems in the lead gen and managing the lead managers and stuff like that to make sure that these leads are getting pushed down to the closer, and your business partner is the closer. Have him do all the conversations as far as like closing deals and going on appointments and follow up and stuff like that, because the acquisition managers have follow ups too. So that blueprint that we just gave you is a blueprint for like a lot of shit. That's why I said, yo, you're going to be working a ton. But then I thought about it. I'm like, hey, wait. There's another partner involved that can alleviate some of that, because at the moment in my mind, that is the whole business.
Facts.
Everything that we just gave you is the whole business. So if you have a business partner, you guys should be splitting those up. And I would split it up. I would split it up between strengths, right? If your strength is systems and processes, then do all the systems and processes stuff. If your strengths is closing and your business partner is good at business systems and processes and stuff, have him do all that. That way you can just focus on closing and managing the sales team, and he can do the systems, or vice versa, wherever you guys are at. But definitely, if you have a business partner, that's the beauty of having a business partner.
Facts.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's one person like that. I say that organizational chart that I was talking about earlier. I say you sit down with that business partner and you guys figure out every single hat that each other is wearing, right? And if you guys are splitting this business 50-50, right, you need to, one person is doing this 50% of what needs to be done for this business to run, and the other person does this 50%. And you guys divide and conquer, and you guys also should have meetings once a week, right? This is the plan for the week. And then we meet up again and we figure out, we let each other know if we executed our targets for the week. We hold each other accountable and you guys help each other grow. That's what it's about. Just like I know one thing with my old partnerships and partnerships that I'm in now, communication is everything and everybody understanding their role, like down to the T, to the fact that now you can hold each other accountable. So like everything's written out, right? So let's say, Evan, your job is to make sure there's leads on the plate for people to close deals, and your partner's job is to actually close the deals, or vice versa. Your partner's job is to generate the leads and make sure the system and stuff isn't good, and yours is to close the deals, right? Now, you do that, you have everybody's jobs listed down, and now, so let's say you as a closer, there's no leads for you to close. Who can you talk to about that? You talk to your partner about that. Now, if your partner's crushing it, there's plenty of leads for you to call, and you're just not closing them, right? Now, who do we talk to? We talk to you, So everybody's duty is lined out, and everybody knows what they're doing at any given day, at any given time, and everything should be lined out. So that's part of those. That's even part of those SOPs that you should have. Your partner should go through that with you. You guys should have your own SOPs for each other. And your job, you should be focused. So like say you're the acquisitions person, it's your job to build an acquisitions business that runs without you. It's his job to build a lead generation hub that works without him.
That's a bar, bro.
Facts. So everybody's job is to make it work without them being in there, right? That's the process of scaling. If you're doing this on your own, if you're out there listening, if you're doing this on your own, maybe that means you just have to hire it out. That's how I was a few months ago. I hired out my partners. I hired out my lead generation. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes that's what you got to do. But if you have a partner, sit down, figure out, hey, this is what I'm going to do every week. This is what you're going to do every week. No, every day. Fuck every week. Every day is what we're going to do. And if it's not done, now we hold each other accountable to that. Because if y'all ain't gonna hold each other accountable, your business definitely ain't gonna do what you wanted to do.
So good. Holy crap.
Do that thing again, Mike.
Dropping that sauce, man. This is Wholesale Hardknocks. If you want an extra 22 minutes for them, for freaking Real Estate Wavy and everybody in the crowd, man, I hope y'all got some value for today. Wavy, do you feel like you have some action steps ready to attack and crush it this year?
I'm excited, bro. I can feel it on the inside, man. Let's get it, bro.
You got it, bro. I'm excited to see where you're at in like 3 months.
Bet. Yeah. Let's get it done, man.
Let's go, baby.
Get it done.
Another episode of Wholesale Hardknocks. If you guys want to be like Evan and get on this this hot seat, then you got to go into Daryl's Discord. You got to sign up for that role play. That's this Saturday. Okay. And if you're a winner of that role play, then you will end up being able to get a spot for not next week, but the week after that's hot seat. Dude,
shout out to Calvin, my lead manager. He's in the chat right now. Let's go.
Calvin, let's go,
Calvin. Get in there, dog.
Calvin, your job is to help this man build out a system while he gives you any sauce that he knows as far as closing, helps you become one of the best closers that you could possibly be, right? That's his job, to help you become the best closer you could possibly be. And your job is to help him replace you with the virtual assistant, right? While you're on your way to building your business, right? So give him, if you told Evan you're going to work from 6 months, give him your everything in that 6 months. And as he grows, you grow. So hell yeah. I love that.
Yes, sir.
Yo, Mike, what we got for him, bro? Before we wrap this up, you got anything else?
Listen, next week we're going to be going over a specific topic again, just like we did last week with goals and stuff. This will be a specific topic about some sort of niche in real estate. We're going to give you guys an idea, a heads up about that, what exactly it's going to be about. But you guys are going to want to be here next week.
Why don't they let us know? Why don't they reach out to you in your Facebook group and my Discord and let us know what do you guys want to hear from us next week? What topic do you want us to
I
dive
like that.
deep into next week on next Wednesday?
I like that.
Yeah. So join my Discord, join Mike's Facebook group, and go in there, make a post, and let us know what topic you want us to deep dive onto in Wholesale Hard Knocks next Wednesday. Mike, what times is Wholesale Hard Knocks every Wednesday?
7 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know any other times.
7 p.m. Eastern time, 5 o'clock Arizona time.
What we'll do too in the descriptions in both of me and Daryl's video on both of our channels, we'll put our Discord. I mean Daryl's Discord and in my Facebook group, that link, because it's kind of hard here. Whenever we post a comment, they gotta like copy and paste it, and some people are freaking lazy. I get it. So it'll be in the description. We'll add it to the description.
I love it. We already got one. We already got one vote for discipline.
Ooh, I like that.
It's actually the 2023. I named this year the year of discipline. So let's do it.
Hey, let me get a quick picture real quick. Y'all say cheese, bro.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, man. Yo, if y'all got some sauce today, if y'all got some value today, make sure you like these videos. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you subscribe to Mike's channel. Follow us both on Instagram. Join our communities, right? Join our communities if you have not gotten your first deal. If you have already gotten a deal, join our communities to help other people give deals, because that's what me and Mike are all about. We're all about giving back, squatting up, helping people just accomplish all their goals, right? So make sure you join those communities. Tap in with me and Mike. Set a reminder, because next Wednesday we're going to be diving deep on a very specific topic that you guys can choose for us to talk about in our community. So make sure you join in next Wednesday. We'll see y'all soon.